Okay, so it was Liverpool 2, Wolves 1. It was a win, 3 points added to the points tally, and we can't complain too much. We'll take it and move on. Of course, it is always good to have 3 points on the board. Always. Now, let me go to the beginning of the game. We started the game quite shaky, I think. In the first about 2 to 3 minutes, we gave them about three opportunities to put in a long throw. And Kekes was in the mix. He was in the crime scene in most of these throw-ins that we gave away. So it was a kind of a shaky start very, very early on. But I think after those couple of throw-ins, we settled down. We started playing the game, passing and moving the ball. It wasn't as quick as I think most would have liked, most Liverpool fans would have liked it to be. It was a bit slow and ponderous. But I think as the game wore on, we wore them down. We made them sort of run a bit, we stretched them a bit. And I think that today's game, the fact that Jeremy Frimpong started was something that really helped the team because he was the only one stretching the play. He was really staying wide and high. And so we were able to stretch their back line. So whenever the ball got to him, someone had to really close him down, and that left a bit of a gap in the middle for us to be able to exploit. So the first goal we got came from Jeremy Frimpong stretching the play and receiving the ball and running to the byline. And that was an excellent assist that he gave to Gravenberch. The way he cut the ball back, I don't think it was something that any one of the Wolves defenders expected, the way he cut the ball back. And I think that was how come we got the goal, because Gravenberch was left in acres of space to be able to take his time and pick a spot. And indeed, a spot he picked to slot the ball home. And it was a good finish because I think we've seen on many occasions that these kind of balls can be hit too hard or too high, and it ends up going over the bar. But he put his body on the ball and made sure that he kept it very, very low. And that is how come we got the goal. Bottom corner, near post, bang. And it was in for the first goal. And I think it was less than a minute later that we got the second goal. And the second goal was excellent play, excellent team play, excellent individual brilliance from Hugo Ekitike in the middle to knock the ball around the Wolves player and sprint into the final third. And when he got into the final third, this is where I think we are able to tell if a player is absolutely elite, because it all has to do with the final decision. And in this particular case, Hugo Ekitike, absolute brilliance, the way he picked that pass through to Vets. And it was great movement, great interchange of position from both players. Intelligent players always see where the gaps are and they fill in. Because Vets saw that Hugo Ekitike had dropped deep, almost into the position that you would expect Vets to fill. And then Vets decided to go into the position that we would normally expect to see Hugo Ekitike. So it was absolutely an interchange of position between the two players, one taking the other's position and doing the job excellently. And it was great control from Vets and a very cool finish indeed, knocking the ball over and under the goalkeeper to get the second goal. So the goals came towards the end of the first half because we have been creating opportunities, not chances necessarily, opportunities to try and get something. We were really pinning them back and making them really work very, very hard. And today I kind of like the way, even though we pinned them back, we were still sort of moving them out of position and dragging them away from where they are supposed to be. They were very compact and tight at the back, but we still managed to find some spaces. So I think we are getting there. In terms of our ability to break down a low block, it hasn't been very good at all this season so far, but I think we are getting there. We are getting there. The chemistry up front, the interchange of play between Vets and Ekitike. Also, I'm beginning to see some partnership develop between Vets and Kerkes on the left-hand side of our attack. So that is a very encouraging thing that I'm seeing from the team right now. In the second half, that is where I think this Liverpool team need to improve massively, because it has been very far and few, even last season, where we've been able to control a game of football for 90 minutes, first half and second half. Even last season when we won the league, there were many occasions where Liverpool didn't play well in the first half. It was ponderous. It was lacking energy. But then in the second half, we turn it up. We go to the second, third, and fourth year, and then we win the game like that. Today, it was better in the first half, but in the second half, we totally relinquished control of the game to Wolves. We gave them so much encouragement to make them believe that they can actually get something out of the game. And this is at Anfield. It wasn't an away game. And I think that is something that we still need to improve on massively. We still need to improve on. It is not good enough. The way we are not able to shut teams down, keep them absolutely at arm's length. And I think that is the most worrying thing, because if you are a top team who has ambitions to win things in a season, the one thing that you cannot avoid doing, you cannot fail at, is controlling games. If you are not able to control games, you turn the game into a basketball situation. Opponents get encouragement. They start lofting the ball into your penalty box. If you don't shut that down, you have absolutely no chance of winning games on a consistent basis, because today we could have easily lost the lead. This game could have ended in a draw, and Wolves would have ended up getting the third point of the season. Getting the third point of their season. And that would have been a disaster. Absolutely a disaster. As I've said earlier on, we don't have difficult games and we don't have easy games anymore, Liverpool. We just have games. And so even in this game, if anybody thought that this was going to be a very easy game, that we would go out there and get a cool 3 points, score 3 goals, and not even have to work for it, that is a mirage. That is an illusion, if anybody thinks that, because in this particular Premier League, you need to earn the right to win every single game, no matter who you are playing against, no matter how poor the opponent is. And Wolves were able to do this against Arsenal as well. Last week, they were able to hold Arsenal and prevent them from winning the game early on. And Arsenal were lucky to get away with the 3 points. So we had to work our socks off for this game. And I think that is what I'll give the team credit for. That in the end, they were able to hold on. They didn't lose the lead. They ended up getting the 3 points, even though it is absolutely disappointing that I didn't get my clean sheet. Because in my preview for this particular game, what I said was that a win, a clean sheet, and then no drama. But in the end, there was a little bit of drama, even though the drama didn't end up derailing our opportunity to add 3 points to our tally in this particular Premier League. So it is really, really good. It is 3 wins in a row in the Premier League, 4 wins in a row in all competitions. So I think we are on a good way. We are gradually getting back to some sort of stability, and that is very, very good. Usually it is a game against these kind of sides that we're struggling. So the fact that we've gone unbeaten in the last 3 games is very encouraging. The next one is against Leeds United, also at Anfield, a very challenging opponent. They are not going to be easy to play against. As I said, there are no easy games. So it is also going to be a very tough game. And I expect that we will show up and continue the run of form that we've picked lately. In terms of performances today, I think Curtis Jones again was excellent today. He played very, very well, especially in the first half, picking his passes, trying to put balls in tight spaces for us to be able to open up the Wolves defense. Florian Wirtz as well, I need to give him a mention. Today he was absolutely magnificent. I absolutely like the way he played today. His movements, his touches, the passes and movements. That is what we expect from him on a regular basis, especially in the final third. Because it is all well and good doing all the nice touches and passes and dribbling in the deep end of Liverpool's half, but it doesn't really impact our ability to get goals and win games necessarily if when we get to the final third the decision making is poor. So I've been a critic of Wirtz about his decision making in the final third previously, before we started winning the last 3 games. So the fact that he's getting assists, he's getting a goal, he's gotten a goal and an assist in our last 2 games. So that is real good progress. It shows very good signs that we are getting somewhere, and these new signings are getting up to speed. They are adjusting very, very well to the pace, the physicality, and the expectations of Liverpool. So Wirtz's performance was good. Another person I want to mention today is Hugo Ekitike. I think he was very, very good in the first half. As always, he nets the play very, very well. He connects the attack with the midfield. He holds up the ball very well. He holds up the ball, bringing to play other players. In the first half, there was a ball like that. He controlled it. He saw Kekes running in behind and then gave the back flick, and were able to get out of our half. So that is something that I think he's doing very well, but he can absolutely improve on. In the second half, Ekitike got few opportunities where the control wasn't quite good. He got one, I think, pass from Wirtz in the penalty box that he couldn't quite control. If he had gotten the control well, I think it would have been an opportunity to get a shot on goal and possibly score a goal. I also want to make a shout out to Chiesa. So Chiesa started a game today, finally, in the Premier League. And like I said earlier on in my preview, I think Chiesa still needs to show why he needs to start games. He needs to show the manager that he can't put him on the bench. And he was good today. He was okay. I wouldn't say he was great or excellent by any stretch of the imagination. He could have done better. In certain situations where he had the ball, the decision making could have been better, especially in the first half. So it was a good game. I like the energy that he came into the game with on the right-hand side. He absolutely helped us to replicate the energy and the intensity that Szoboszlai brings to the team. And the fact that Szoboszlai wasn't in this game, we needed someone who could replicate or to some extent give us a similar level of energy and intensity, and that is what we got in this game. So very, very good 3 points today. Also Van Dijk at the back, it was absolutely magnificent performance from him again. Konate was good. He was okay. He made a mistake, I think in the first half, where after we got the 2 goals, there was a back pass to him and he absolutely completely missed it. But thankfully, it didn't result in a counter-attacking opportunity. I think we were able to nip that chance from Wolves in the back we didn't allow it to develop, and so that was good. Otherwise, I think there would have been disaster if that ball had resulted in any sort of chance or goal. Konate's day would have been over, as we've seen quite a lot of times this particular season. So it was a good game, and on to the next one. We need to get 3 points in the next one as well. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video. Also subscribe, and Merry Christmas to everybody. See you again.